Hey guys, welcome to Love, Life, and Politics, where I talk about love, life, and mostly politics. Links in the description below to all the people that I keep up with to get different perspectives, as well as my subscribe scar link and eventually my BitChute that I'm going to get set up. Three things that I want to talk about, three important things that happened this week, is Joe finally picking a VP, a man freed from prison, killing the person that accused him, as well as most importantly, a black officer being shot at home. These are the big stories, and now let's kind of break it down. First thing I want to talk about is Joe Biden finally picking a VP. And a lot of people didn't think he would make this dumb decision, but he did make this dumb decision. He picked Kamala Harris. If any of you guys know, she only had apparently, essentially, because I watched a little bit of the debates, one good one where she kind of looked like, oh, okay, she's a little fiery, she has the potential, and then as more information started coming out about her, and then your girl Tulsi Gabbard came out and roasted her royally, burnt her beyond belief. Then she pretty much fizzled out. In fact, she dropped out before Tulsi Gabbard did, and kudos to that. You got scoped, and the person that scoped you stayed in the game a lot longer than you. Not a lot longer. I think it was only like a week or two afterwards that Tulsi dropped out. Anyways, not a lot of people know. Actually, a lot of people are starting to know a little bit more about her history, which is why she ended up having to drop out anyways, after being exposed for being the person that in her history as a prosecutor, she jailed people for drug use, marijuana, and then goes on to the Breakfast Club and brags about smoking while listening to Tupac 2 years before Tupac even dropped his first album. So she's been shown and exposed to be a fake who does one thing, says another thing to get people to like her or support her, even though that's not her authentically. She will do essentially anything to get in a position of power. She said whatever she needed in order to pull the left so she can potentially get the pick for president. And now she's coddling to Joe Biden and saying whatever she needs to say to be VP. And it worked. She is VP. Now, I do think that virtually any other woman except maybe Elizabeth Warren would probably have been better for her, because she is now going to be a tool that Trump is going to use to attack Joe. So because of her history, her history and Joe's history both essentially go against what the liberals currently believe. Okay, Joe was working with segregationists back in the day with topics involved in busing that Kamala Harris actually attacked Joe Biden for, made it very personal. That was clean. That was a smart tactical move to try to make him look horrible and make you look good, as well as her with her history with jailing people and her affair. But that's besides the point. So with that, they're both going to be very easy for him to target and expose to the people that would normally have voted for them. And we've already seen a lot of people saying, you know what, scratch that, I'm voting for Trump, or scratch that, I'm not voting for him at all. I was already not going to vote for him. The progressive, the further left part, I was potentially going to pull that lever. But now that he's picked her as a VP, we're done. And a lot of progressives are feeling used, and which is definitely what happened, because per usual, they're whenever they're in the primaries, they go super left to get the younger progressive crowd, and then during the actual election season, like the general election, they move towards the middle to get some independents, people that don't really fall into any particular party affiliation and kind of vote topic to topic, and they see what the seasons are. No loyalty, so to speak. And they've buried themselves a hole, because right now they've already exposed themselves as being on the left. And my gosh, Trump was on it quick. He had an ad apparently within an hour up there roasting Kamala. And right now, all he really needs to do to attack either one of them is for Kamala Harris and just play that Tulsi Gabbard one over and over again. And to take care of Biden, play Kamala Harris's attack on him. It's going to be flawless. I know that the Trump campaign is prepared for it. Their first strike was already really good, and I hope that he really presses deep on all the hypocrisies and the fact that she's not even, I don't want to say she's not even black, but she's like half Indian and then half Jamaican and half white. No, half Indian, a quarter white, a quarter Jamaican, apparently. And her family has been exposed, or her father was actually kind of gloating that his family owned like slaves and whatnot. So that's going to really hurt her reparations, because, they're going to want to talk about reparations. She's going to be the last person, because her family had slave owners. And that's another thing for another discussion about that there were black slave owners in the South in the United States. So they're going to have to do a lot of checking to figure out which one of these black people here whose ancestors were slave owners, they have to not pay the other black people whose ancestors were slaves. But that is besides the point. That's what happened. And let me know in the comments below, who do you, if this is going to help Joe Biden in any case, or is this just going to hurt Joe Biden, and how bad it's going to hurt him in the long run. Second thing that happened is, because of the COVID, a man was released from jail. Apparently he was accused of raping somebody. I think it was his, I need to look at this a little bit more. I think it was his girlfriend or something like that. And he has some kind of relationship with this person, and he raped her, beat her, did something like that, and was sent to jail while they're awaiting the trial and whatnot. And then his lawyers got him released due to the COVID, quote unquote. And now he killed her. He went over there, killed her, took off. I think he ended up trying to off himself as well. That goes to show you how dumb and ridiculous this whole Cove thing is, and how many people it's hurting. I already talked about how many third world children are dying because all the economies have slowed down, and we essentially were helping them survive to a certain degree. And now we have people being released, criminals being released. We're not even going to talk about the riots and the fact that some of these attorney generals and prosecutors are just letting people go even though they've been charged with I wouldn't say they're felonies. I'm sure some of them were felony, but rioting and stealing and looting and stuff like that, and letting them out. Anyways, he goes and he kills her, and nobody wants to talk about this. They want everything, that all the ridiculous ideas that they've got around this virus, they want to keep perpetuating it, but they won't show anything at all that brings to light how dumb and ridiculous some of the things that we are doing in order to, quote unquote, slow the spread or stop the virus, or whatever you want to say, how negatively it is affecting our people and affecting our citizens who are doing the right thing. That's another thing that happened. I didn't even put that in the notes, but they're shutting down businesses because they want to open up and actually put food on their own table. While right next door, a Dollar General can operate like normal, no issue, but a gym where they're trying their best, doing their best to, probably have even more space in between them than some of the people in a Dollar General, but they can't open, and they took away their business licenses. But that's a different story. We'll talk about that again. But yeah, that's what's happening in this world right now. We're releasing criminals who are then killing those who accuse them because of the Cove. We're ridiculous, and anybody who supports this is dumb. Sorry. Or that's a bit far. Probably shouldn't attack your character. I apologize for that. You're not dumb. You just make dumb decisions that are going to affect people negatively and has cost somebody their life. Boom. There you go. Look at me being a good person. And third thing, a black officer gets shot at his girlfriend's house. So there's an officer who is on administrative leave because in a span of 5 years, he's killed 3 people now. The first 2, they already did the investigations. They were justified. Third one, I guess, is still pending investigation, so he's out. A bunch of protesters showed up to his house, assaulted him and his girlfriend. This is actually not even his house. This is his girlfriend's house. There's kids in the house, and somebody with a shotgun shoots into the back of the house. Could have killed him and killed the kids. And this is the status of our country right now. And oh my gosh, who's talking about it? Only conservatives, libertarians, and people who just want to speak about the actual news. Nobody else. The left has clearly shown that they will not show anything that will make Black Lives Matter or protest rioters look bad. They will avoid it like the plague. And this is and I'm going to be happy for it, going to bite them in the butt. Because what's going to happen is people are going to stop listening to you when they can see, okay, let me just flip the channel this one bit, or let me just click this YouTube channel, boom, or let me jump on it, BitChute, boom. Wow, I'm getting the full story. I'm getting more context here. Somebody's telling me more things than what this other person is telling me. In fact, they're being negligent in the way that they're covering things because they're not showing you the full story. They're giving you one perspective and saying, you know what, this is all I'm going to give you, and you, being uninformed to a certain degree, are going to make decisions and go throughout life believing things, speaking, having conversations with other people without knowing the full context. That is dumb, that is stupid, and that is going to make us worse voters and worse people. In almost every single case, it is better for people to be fully informed than uninformed. I can guarantee you the reason why that is because more informed people, I believe, if we look at it in our political sphere, if more people were super informed on many topics that they believe in, talk about, it would just be overwhelmingly Republican. I really do and truly believe that, because the black vote would pretty much go straight to Republicans, because if they were informed on what Democrats have done to them in the past, and currently informed of what Republicans for them have done in the past, and currently, especially under this administration, they would not vote Democrat. Democrats would not win another election if black people voted, even comparably to white people. 50-50, they would never win again. Which is why they're, again, trying to import voters, trying to give people amnesty, citizenship, so that they can vote. In fact, in some cases, saying that legal, trying to make the case that illegal should be able to vote. So, I think we need to get way more informed in things like this. The full story needs to go out. And I'm okay with people roasting Trump. If Trump does something bad, trust me, I will roast him for it. No man is perfect. I am not perfect. Trump is not perfect. Nobody is perfect. Unless your name is Jesus, you ain't perfect, and you're open to criticism. But I will say, in this current political climate, especially what's going on right now, I don't really have that much to criticize the current president about, besides the fact that he tweets too much. In fact, if they removed like 50% of his tweets, he probably would have a way higher approval rating. But that's just me. That's what I believe. Anyways, those are the 3 major things that happened this week. Comment down, have a conversation down below what you think about any of these things. Maybe even make some requests on what you guys want me to talk about next. But regardless, I appreciate you guys sticking through to the end of this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a blessed one.